a look, we can see our next two battlers getting set up and ready to go. We have Bubble Mouse on the left, and she will be facing the Matt for Real on the right. And we can see their teams down on the bottom of the screen. So we have another, and so we should probably take a little bit more of a look at the Matt for Real's team. How is the Matt for Real going to be able to counter that Annihilate, bringing the Azumarill, the Registeel, the Shadow Gligar, Medicham, Lickitung, and Cresselia? I really like Cresselia, rid of Bubble Mouse's final shield. And there it is. So as long as the Matt for Real can get to another charge move before the Annihilate can knock it out, let's see how this plays out. And it does. Azumarill gets to that final Ice Beam. I do think Bubble Mouse definitely played to her win conditions there. She saw that it was a really rough lead matchup with that Lickitung on the Registeel, and I think she played that really the only way you could have.
I think she played that matchup to the fullest extent. Of course, the Matt for Real though is looking to be in the driver's seat of this game as those two shields. Oh, and just a beautiful catch. The Matt for Real probably didn't need that catch, but it is a very fancy play to most likely end off this game.
Yeah, the Matt for Real using the same three Pokemon, even now here in the third game, just knowing and putting trust into this line of three, knowing that it was going to work. Bubble Mouse tries to make a catch, trying to salvage it, but there is the Gligar. Bubble Mouse has used all of her shield, and this victory is going to go to the Matt for Real.
Yeah, and despite a very solid lead from Bubble Mouse, the Matt for Real being able to use this strategy to keep his Gligar safe in the back was ultimately an extremely strong win condition here. And I like a lot of these switch decisions that come in from both these trainers throughout this match.
Congratulations to the Matt for Real. All right, we are going to go cut over to John, who is going to be interviewing the Matt for Real, who could maybe let us know how did it feel to go up against the Annihilate for the first time in the official championship series. John, take it away.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. I'm here with the Matt for Real, fresh off a 2-1 victory. Kind of the theme of the day so far definitely has been the choice of counter user. We of course saw Annihilate from your opponent in that match, but you opted for a more traditional choice of Medicham. So talk me through the process there of deciding on Medicham as opposed to some of those other counter user options.
I saw Vigoroth did really well in Portland, so I definitely considered it. Poliwrath, I love in the right matchup, but just the time it takes to get to its moves makes it a little less desirable for me, and some of its matchups are just not great. I went with Medi because I figured there'd be a ton of Poly and Vigoroth, and Medi wins those matchups, as well as it does well against like Cash. It can beat Shadow Gligar in the one shields, which is cool. So I thought a lot of people would just be sleeping on Medicham and thought I'd bring it.
That's very fair. And speaking of Shadow Gligar, it definitely felt like it was a bit of your ace in this series, specifically in that Game 3, opting to give up switch advantage and go for an aggressive switch into the Shadow Gligar, being able to snipe the last little bit of health off of that Lickitung, and then setting your Gligar up for success in the end game. So talk me through that thought process there.
I knew Annihilate was like one wing attack away. I didn't think it had a move, and I didn't know what was in the back yet, so I figured Energy Lead would be my win con if I needed it. It ended up being Reggie, so that's great for Gligar. I did not need the Energy Lead, but it doesn't hurt to have.
Very fair. And one final question here is, you did bring Azumarill, which is a very good check to a lot of those fighters, and we saw it do pretty well into that Annihilate, although Annihilate made it surprisingly close there in the 2-shield. But talk me through the moveset choice there. Is obviously 3 pretty good charge attacks. Ice Beam, Play Rough, Hydro Pump, opting to go for the non-same type attack bonus, Ice Beam, and then the Hydro Pump moveset.
So I knew everybody would have Steel. Play Rough is great in GBL, but I feel like in this meta, or at least here at Regionals, everybody only has one fighter. There's only so much you can Play Rough, and a lot of things you Play Rough, you can just Ice Beam anyway. So I figured Hydro Cannon would give me at least some leverage against the Steels in the meta.
Nice. And I mean, as we saw, especially with the increased bubble damage that we get this season, the bubbles were able to add up quite a bit on the Annihilate. So again, big congrats to the Matt for real on the 2-1 victory here. And I hope the rest of your day goes well, and we'll see you back up here soon, okay?